time, so we're trying to make do with the little time that we have. So I want to continue the conversation from where we left up the last hour. Remember, I told you the show today will focus basically on local government elections. For those of you who are joining for the first time, you're welcome. I am Kala Dakoru Batubo, and you're listening to Hard Facts, the 92.3 Nigeria Info. We're live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We're active on X. So a lot has happened between 1 a.m. and now. And so we're trying to look at all the issues. And we want to look at it from a legal angle. So I've invited back in the studio. He was on the show a couple of days ago, about 2 days ago. J.C. Williams, Esquire, is in the studio. He's a lawyer, Esquire, he's a lawyer and a political commentator. Yeah, a big one at that, I was going to say. So quickly.
Thank you, Kala.
The governor, I'm rushing, there's so much I need to catch up with. The governor, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, says he has taken enough rubbish. Enough is enough. If the police do not want to participate, it's fine. Because remember, I don't know if you've seen, the police put out a statement saying they will not be a part of it and that they will follow the orders of the Federal High Court. And I remember our last conversation, you said the Federal High Court is the one that's got jurisdiction over the police, right? And not the State High Court. And so they are following the court with jurisdiction over them. But then I'm wondering what the law says about an election without the police, or if there is violence. I'm looking at it from all of these angles. But let me welcome you on the show.
Thank you.
Welcome. Remember, I told you that there is a possibility that the police that you were praising, who were stationed at RISEC office, could turn and do something different come Friday. I sound like a prophet right now.
Yes, you did.
What do you make of the whole situation from a legal perspective? The police are being accused of trying to cut away with electoral materials.
Well, thank you for this privilege to be here one more time. You see, the police, as we know in Nigeria, is established under Part 2 of the Police Act.
Okay.
Capi 19. And what did this Police Act say about police? With your leave, let me just read it.
Please do.
General duties of the police. The police shall be employed for the prevention and detection of crime, the apprehension of offenders, the preservation of law and order, the protection of life and property. That is why Nigerians are paying tax to pay police.
Okay.
To do what? Protection of life and property. Now, that is the primary responsibility of the police. Whether there is election, there is no election, police, by the act establishing them, must do this duty. But you see, it's most regrettable, just like you preempted the other day, that will I be surprised if the eve of the election you hear that police have come to take over and all that, and they attempted that. But unfortunately, like they said, they are obeying the Federal High Court order that said police should not participate in the election. There is nothing wrong in that, in obeying that law. But police don't need, I said it, the police don't need any order of court to do their duties. Okay,
so someone sent me, I'm yet to look at it in its entirety, but a document, a copy of the court judgment, the Federal High Court judgment led by Justice Peter Lifu. And, item 7, the order talked about stopping the process as the process was deemed not to have followed due process, and that the election can continue after due process was followed. Could that also have informed the police?
Justice Lifu, in the first place, jurisdiction is a very fundamental thing in law.
Okay.
The Federal High Court judge don't have that jurisdiction to make such orders, assuming such orders
were made.
I'm not sure. Justice Lifu We will not make such, in previous states, all manner of orders are flying.
Okay, so I spoke with the commissioner of RISEC, saddled with the responsibility for public affairs and civic education, and he said in the law, River State law, INEC should give them or must give them voters register. But correct. INEC is under the purview of the Federal High Court. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's
so
correct.
If they say the processes were not followed, could they look at it from this angle of INEC being under? Does that give them a slight jurisdiction?
No.
It doesn't.
No. See, INEC, the Federal High Court has jurisdiction to hear matter concerning INEC, and that they did. And in that order, I said it last time, the court said INEC do not release the voters register to RISEC.
Okay.
That's that order. That is how it affected INEC. Do not release. But unfortunately, that's why I said that order has become academic. The RISEC said they have written to INEC,
and they have collected,
applied, and obtained the voters register. So, of what use is that judgment?
Okay. So because we're racing against time, I'm gonna rush through the conversation. So now you're saying the Federal High Court does not have that jurisdiction, so the police is not participating. How do you think it will affect this election? Hold that thought. But then again, do you think other security agencies have got the legal backing, to secure, so to say, the electoral process? Because you've just read from the Police Act, and you've just told us what is the fundamental duty of the police: to secure lives and properties and to maintain law and order. So in the absence of the police, what other security agency?
If we will be honest ourselves as Nigerians, Canada, you saw what happened in Edo State. In other crimes, I know you are a vast journalist. In other crimes, do you see police running around during the day of election? Election even is done electronically. People sit in their houses and the result is counted. But in Nigeria here, we even have problem when police come into the scene. That is when you see what will happen tomorrow. You will not hear of any trouble. Why? Because police, they say they will not participate. Their involvement in the election has even caused Nigeria more trouble. Because some of them see it as opportunity. Oh, let us get what we want to get from these politicians. And by so doing, they cause trouble for us. They say they don't want to participate, or they want to obey the judgment that said they shouldn't participate. They should relax. There is no legal implication, no problem at all. Election will go on. Like I said, Justice Lifu did not say research should not conduct the election because he doesn't have such powers. So, with or without police, Rivers people have decided to go and vote for the candidate of their choice. So, the presence of police, to me, their absence or their presence will not add anything.
Have you taken into cognizance the potential or the possibility of things turning violent? And what does the law say? What does the Rivers law say about violence rocking local government elections? Does it, Electoral Act says if any polling unit or ward is seen to be violent, whatever election happened there is null and void. Yes. Is it the same for local
that
government?
Law didn't say if there is irregularity, police should cancel the election. What the law says is that police should maintain law and order. Everything about the conduct of election lies with either INEC or RISEC.
I understand where you're coming, but usually police is able to stop perpetrators from...
That is when there is one.
Okay.
When there is problem. But in this case, police say they want to obey the Federal High Court law. They say they don't want to get involved. And Rivers people have decided people will conduct themselves properly tomorrow.
You are not envisaging...
I am not envisaging. In fact, if police tonight decide to come, then that's when I will even envisage problem.
So now let's get to the question I asked. What does the law say about violence? I know what the Electoral Act 2022 says, but I don't know what the Rivers law on local elections says about violence during polls.
If there is violence during poll, it is the electoral management body that will decide. Yes, because don't forget there will be what they call the polling unit agent. There will be polling unit. There is a returning officer. All that they will report to the appropriate court. And who is the appropriate court in this instance? The RISEC. Look, there is violence here. There is this there. Election therefore is cancelled in those polling units. That's how it's not even. It does not lie with the police to cancel election assuming there is violence. In fact, Canada, let me tell you something. If tonight, as we speak, this is the eve of the election. If police wake up tomorrow and say, okay, we want to get involved in the election, I will smell that. They have said they want to obey the Federal High Court. Please let them obey that law to the letter. We don't want them. So they don't cause trouble and say, hey, see, we said it. Let them stay where they are. Allow Rivers to exercise their franchise.
All right. Let me come in here now. The governor did mention that if the police don't want to, that there are other security agencies. What other security agencies are at his beck and call as, of course, the chief security officer of the state?
Well, perhaps, I wouldn't know. Perhaps NSCDC. Perhaps the military.
No, of course, you know the military is under the president.
That's what I'm saying.
And NSCDC, do they have the function to maintain peace and order?
Of course, all the security agencies, they are probably concerned. Apart from the military.
I thought the NSCDC was somewhat about protection of
public
facilities. And
of course. For instance, now, if election is holding in a local government, there is local government headquarters. Right?
Okay.
Is it not government facility?
Interesting.
I know that is where governor is looking at. The governor, Governor similarly Fubara, I know, does not have any other security apart from the one recognized by law. That is it. And you know, let me tell you something, Kalada. God has been so gracious and merciful to us that God gave us the person of this governor. That is why you see the peace you see today in Rivers State. Otherwise, I don't know what would have happened if not for somebody like him.
So you're not afraid that the local government election will be characterized by violence, as we've seen in time past, not just local government, general elections in Rivers State. You're not scared, and you're saying because the police is not involved.
You see, in that time past, when election, like you said, characterized with the violence and all that, it's because of the presence of police. You and I know. So what happened in it?
That's an allegation, but
no, but that's the truth.
Let's go to my last question, because I'm trying to race against time once again. Yesterday we saw the Martin Ameode-led assembly come out to give a resolution or a statement of their resolution during the plenary, saying that send a strong-worded letter to RESEC to stop the polls. Assuming we didn't have a problem of factionalization at the State House of Assembly, can the legislative arm of government have an influence as to whether the election should hold or not?
You see, Canada, some of these things are annoying. RESEC is a creation of the Rivers State House of Assembly.
Okay. So that's why I'm asking.
That is a law.
That's why I'm asking. Do
yes,
they have a control?
They don't. That is a law they created. So is it by just sitting down? If the law you created, there's something wrong with it, there is how to amend the same law.
Oh.
And let me even say this. That assembly, that's Martins and his friends.
We are not court. We're not the court. And I said, assuming there is no factionalization.
No, they don't have such powers.
Okay,
they don't.
Let's leave it at that. So my final question to you is: as at now, there is no legal hurdle for the local government election for tomorrow.
Canada, there is no legal hurdle at all. Police. No, in fact, what this has taught people, or what this has made people to know, is that police in Nigeria, the ones in Rivers State, for tomorrow, will not do their work. That is what they say. The judgment says they shouldn't do their work, but they will take salary for tomorrow, because the law says protect life and property, whether election is holding or not. But tomorrow they have chosen not to protect life and property, but at the end of the month they will take salary for tomorrow.
If, like I attempted to predict, if for any reason the police decides to go out there and openly decide to take away electoral materials, what agency under the law can stop them?
No agency.
It's for academic purposes.
Yes, no agency under the law will stop them. But the people that will stop them are Rivers people. Okay. Rivers people is the agency of the law that will stop. Look, I'm just coming from RESEC now. I'm not contesting this election, but I'm a Rivers man.
So you were among the protesters?
No. I just went there to observe and see things myself. Since police have decided to cause trouble in Rivers State, Rivers people will stop them and go there. You see, Rivers people, irrespective of political parties, We will have to stop them because this madness will have to stop. It has to stop. Nobody owns Rivers State.
All right. So, what are your expectations, for tomorrow?
Well, I plead with Rivers people, Rivers electorates, to go cast their votes for candidates of their choice. I will vote.
Okay.
Myself. Let everybody be peaceful. Don't look for trouble. Vote and go home. I advise my Rivers electorate, please remain peaceful tomorrow. No amount of provocation will make you to do otherwise, except when it becomes when Rivers State as a state is threatened. And let me say this: if anybody wants to mess with this governor God has given to us, he's the Rivers State we are seeing today. If anybody, no matter how highly placed, want to mess with him because he thinks he's a small boy, Rivers will rise up against that person.
All right, we've got to go. We've got a lot of commercials, but thank you very much, JC Williams, for coming through. And you've heard it, no legal hurdle for now, according to his interpretation. But let's talk some more after the commercials. I'll be right back by 6. Stay tuned.
For more talk